Turkey just declared war, and they've launched huge attacks on both Iraq and Syria. And this comes in response to a terrorist attack that was launched on Turkey's capital 2 days ago. Today, Turkey said they launched 50 airstrikes and destroyed 29 targets in northern Iraq and 18 targets in northern Syria. Now, Turkey didn't say exactly what the targets were that they hit, except the Turkish Ministry of Defense did say that they took, quote, all kinds of precautions to prevent civilian harm. Some more information, Turkey says that they hit the locations of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, and Turkey blames that group for the attack that took place on their capital 2 days ago. And if you don't know, this attack killed 5 civilians and it injured potentially more than 20 others. And something else to note, this attack took place just a few hours after the Turkish President Erdogan went to Russia for the BRICS summit. And just after the attack took place, Putin started off his speech by condemning the attack. But regardless, Turkey has launched over 50 airstrikes against northern Syria and Iraq against the Kurdistan Workers' Party. But you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.
This is Revelations 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Kahala Yahal Bashem Yashai Bashem Rukapudash, which are the true Hebrew names of the Most High Father and His only begotten Son. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who the house of David reborn again in this generation. And shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today were known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the news clip we just watched and how, as time goes by, we're going to start seeing more of these prophecies come to pass and more armies being roused up to come down into the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is pretty much the land of Israel. Now, Turkey in the Bible is referred to as Gomer. This is Ezekiel 38:4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company, with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets. Gomer and all of his bands, and the house of Togarmah, and the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Now this last portion is talking about the Russians. You see, this here, Ezekiel 38 for the most part is written to the modern day Russians, right? The people who the Bible refers to as the Medes in this particular case. You see, because what it's talking about here is that Russia was going to be set up spiritually as the spiritual leader and also the physical protector of all these countries that I just mentioned here, including Gomer, which is Turkey. And what do we see that manifest in today as? Well, the BRICS consortium, right? The counterpart to NATO. And what we've seen in this case here is that Russia has stood up for Turkey and also have sent troops to assist Turkey in different regions. Now, the attacks that we've seen that Turkey did in Iraq and North Syria, notice it said North Syria. And why is that? Well, because North Syria is where Esau's troops are at. It tells you, says, why does the U.S. still have forces in Syria? U.S. forces have targeted a base operated by Iranian allies in eastern Syria after an attack near the U.S. base last week. You see, Iranian allies, or basically people that Iran is funding, are in northeastern Syria. And America and its armies, they're basically in North Syria. What's in North Syria? Well, it's the oil fields. The U.S. forces are still located in the SDF-controlled areas of northeastern Syria, as the Hashakar and Raqqa provinces, right? And basically the reason why it's there is because America is holding on to those oil fields. And basically when you look at where northern Syria is, let's go here. So here's Syria, so let's orient ourselves. So you got Israel here. You basically got the Iranian Syrian-backed forces here, and up here is where the U.S. is at. And the reason is because up here, it's twofold, right? Well, really more than twofold, but you have the oil fields, which America is guarding and ultimately siphoning out the oil from. And second, it's close to the proxy U.S. country, or the country that the U.S. had taken over for a while and hence since has returned back to a puppet government, Iraq. And besides that, it is at the head of the protection for Israel from the North Country. And what is the North Country? Well, it's over here, right? Up here you see Ukraine, right? Up here, and then you got Russia. Now, Russia, when it eventually comes down to fight in World War III, it's going to come down through this area here. And one thing you probably heard in the news a lot is Georgia, right? In fact, right now the CIA is holding a coup attempt of the Georgian elections that just took place, which the current presidency over there in Georgia is not certifying the winner of the new election, which was a anti-American candidate, right? Basically, the U.S. Esau doesn't want to lose Georgia, and that's because Georgia is a shield to help stop Russia from just coming in here and taking it over. This is also another reason why you see Azerbaijan being a big, being propositioned a lot by the UN and U.S. forces, right? This, if you remember, this is where the Iranian president was killed, I believe, up in this area, like a few months back. Is because they're trying to protect this area just from to keep Russia out from this area. Because why? Well, because the Bible prophesizes that the North Country, Russia in this case, is going to eventually come down along with all these other nations with their armies and basically meet up here in this land here, right, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. And this is why you see America up here in northern Syria, which again is after they left out of Iraq. This is where a lot of them went to. Now, Turkey attacked targets in northern Syria and in Iraq, where for the most part, though they said they were like guerrilla fighters, it was basically CIA-backed guerrilla fighters. That's what those were, okay? This is Obadiah 1:7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. You see, Turkey is a part of the NATO coalition, the basically Edomite coalition, which Esau has set up to police the world. Now, at one point, they more likely thought Turkey was going to be for themselves, because when you look at Turkey and how it was created, it pretty much is made up of Edomites and Arabs. Okay, Turkey is the result of the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, like joint venture with the Edomites that had joined them and who had ruled throughout the Caliph period, where basically the Arabs had ruled over the whole Levant area there for a while. From, I think it was like from 600 AD all the way to like the late 1800s, and pretty much up until World War I. Now Turkey is the country that is the remaining part of the Ottoman Empire. Okay, that's what the Arab Empire eventually has been turned into, or what it downgraded to. Well, they were invited into the NATO coalition, and for the last few years, ever since the attempted coup in Turkey and also in Syria, Turkey has, for the most part, started to lean against the NATO coalition and against America, and they've been leaning more towards the BRICS consortium. In fact, Turkey has applied to become a member of BRICS. It's the first NATO country to try to join BRICS, that is, right? And when it says here, all thy men of thy confederacy, that's what it's talking about, the member states of NATO. Now, eventually it's going to be these other NATO states like France and all these other countries that are part of NATO that are going to eventually betray America and shoot upon it. But for the most part, this also is talking about Turkey, because Turkey is part of the confederacy with Esau. Okay, and they've eaten their bread by, being funded and supported by NATO, right? And who supports NATO? Or should I say, who funds it? Well, it's primarily America, right? Trump made a big deal about it, talking about he was going to make all these other EU or NATO countries pay up, and that's because they basically haven't been paying it, and America's been paying for the most part of all of NATO. Okay, because why? Because that's the Edomite bread that they're providing to these other nations to satiate them. This is Matthew 24 and 42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. So, as we've been all making videos, we've all been letting everybody know these prophecies are playing out in front of our eyes. Okay, there's only a few more things that need to play out, that being the mandatory initiation of the microchips, right? The RFID implantable chips you're going to want to put in your hands or your foreheads, right? Things like Neuralink. And then also just the straight out breaking out of World War III, which this attack that Turkey did on Iraq and Syria is one of the small signs and the awakening and the wars and rumors of wars that the Messiah told us to look out for, because we're seeing more of this, and we're going to see it happen even faster, because we are in these end times, Akim. We're here. So either way, this is going to be a short clip, so just wanted to highlight this since I thought it was important. So until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahshai, Ba'Shem Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.